What is object constancy? Why the lack of development of object constancy in the childhood is the main cause of the development of narcissism? Object constancy is a fundamental emotional and cognitive skill that allows a person to maintain a stable sense of connection to others even when they are not physically present, or when the relationship experiences tension or conflict. It begins to develop in early childhood, typically between the ages of 2 and 3, as the child starts to internalize the comforting presence of a caregiver, usually through repeated experiences of consistent emotional availability. When this process unfolds in a healthy environment, the child learns that relationships can withstand temporary frustrations or distance without being entirely threatened. However, when a child grows up in an unpredictable, emotionally neglectful, or abusive environment, this development can be disrupted. In the case of narcissism, reduced or absent object constancy leaves the person emotionally stranded in each moment, unable to hold on to the idea that someone still loves them or is on their side when conflict or separation arises. This leads to a black and white worldview, where people are either all good or all bad, depending entirely on the most recent interaction. Because narcissists lack this inner stability, they become highly reactive to perceived slights or abandonment, often lashing out, withdrawing, or devaluing others to regain a sense of control or superiority. Their inability to hold onto a nuanced or enduring view of relationships also makes empathy feel threatening, because recognizing someone else's emotions requires maintaining emotional connection, even when those emotions are uncomfortable or critical. Instead, narcissists often defend themselves with denial, projection, or grandiosity. Understanding the root in impaired object constancy reveals that beneath the destructive behaviors is often a deeply frightened, an emotionally underdeveloped self that never learned to trust in the permanence of love or the safety of closeness. But why are narcissists able to show fake empathy to strangers and new people they meet? In the early stages of a connection, there is no emotional risk or perceived rejection, so they can mimic empathy as a way to gain admiration, approval, or control. This behavior is often strategic rather than genuine, fueled by the need to manage impressions and maintain their self-image. Since these surface-level relationships do not require emotional depth or long-term consistency, the lack of object constancy does not yet interfere. True empathy, however, requires enduring emotional connection, especially when challenges or conflicts arise. And this is where narcissists typically fall short.